Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Okay, for today I would like to share with you questions from MRSM and Melaka 2020 based on topic structure of atoms. Okay, so first we look at question from MRSM. Table 1 shows the melting and boiling points of substance P, Q, R and S. Okay, based on table 1, state the meaning of melting point. Okay, so we need to know the difference between melting point versus boiling point. So, melting point refer to temperature. That's why we have unit degree Celsius. Okay, so melting point refers to temperature at which solid turns to liquid at specific pressure. Okay, so boiling point is temperature at which liquid turns to gas. Okay, so during boiling point, we have two states of matter, liquid and gas, while during melting point, okay, the substance exists as solid and liquid. Okay, so question number 2, what is the physical states of substance R at room temperature? Okay, so we assume room temperature to be 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we try with P first. Okay, so for P, 25 is higher than 20. 25 is higher than the boiling point. So substance B exists as gas at room temperature. Okay, so for Q, melting point is -6, boiling point is 700. Okay, so 25 is higher than the melting point. So 25 is here. Okay, so if 25 is here, meaning that substance Q exists as liquid. Okay, for R, melting point is -77, boiling point is -35, meaning that at 25 degrees Celsius, okay, substance R exists as gas. Okay, because 25 degrees Celsius is higher than the boiling point, -35. Okay, for substance S, okay, 25 degrees Celsius is lower than the melting point. Okay, so meaning that substance S exists as solid, okay, at room temperature. Okay, so the answer here, substance R exists as gas. Okay, next, state the change of kinetic energy and forces of attraction between particles of substance Q when cooled from room temperature to -10. Okay, so at 10 degrees Celsius, okay, substance Q exists as solid. Okay, so the question asks you, state the changes of kinetic energy, okay, when substance Q cooled from room temperature. Okay, so at room temperature, substance Q exists as liquid. Okay, to -10, substance Q exists as solid. Okay, so we know that the kinetic energy between particles in the form of liquid is higher than the kinetic energy of solid. Okay, so the answer should be the kinetic energy decreases, okay, because the attraction force between particles become stronger. Okay, at solid state, the particles are closely packed in an orderly manner. Okay, so the kinetic energy of the particles is very low. Okay, while in liquid, the particles are closely packed but not in an orderly manner. Okay, so if the question asks you to draw, you can just draw like this. Okay, next we move on with the question from Melaka 2020. Diagram 2 shows the electron arrangement model proposed by Niels Bohr. Okay, so before we proceed with the question, let us recall the development of the atomic model, okay, by a few scientists. Okay, so we have 5 scientists involved. Okay, number 1, John Dalton. Okay, so John Dalton discovered an atom. Okay, number 2, J.J. Thomson. Okay, so J.J. Thomson discovered electron. Okay, number 3 is Ernest Rutherford. so Ernest Rutherford discovered protons. Okay, so there are protons in the center. Okay, so next person is Niels Bohr. Okay, and then last person, okay, sorry, Niels Bohr discovered, this is Y. Okay, so Y referring to electron shells. Okay, so last person, which is James Chadwick. Okay, so James Chadwick discovered a neutron. Okay, so how do we remember this? Okay, so I always use this shortcut. Okay, so John Dalton discovered atom. Okay, so D is for dogol. Okay, dogol referring to something yang bulat lah. Okay, so number 2, J.J. Thomson. Okay, so JJT. Okay, JJT is jauh-jauh terabur. Okay, jauh-jauh terabur. So, apa yang berterabur? Yang terabur adalah elektron. Okay, so J.J. Thomson discover electron. Okay, so Ernest Rutherford. Okay, so Ford is a brand of car. Okay, so for Malaysia, we have brand Proton. Okay, so Ernest Rutherford discover proton. Okay, so number 4, Niels Bohr. Okay, so for Niels Bohr, E, electron, I, in, S for shell. Okay, electron in shell. And last one, James Chadwick. Okay, so for James Chadwick, I remember as Jimmy Neutron. Okay, so Jimmy Neutron James Chadwick discover neutron. Okay, next question. State the name of the subatomic particles inside the nucleus. Okay, so for subatomic particles, we have 3 subatomic particles, which is proton, neutron, and electron. Okay, so electrons is located in the electron shell. Okay, so electron shells. Okay, so for proton and neutron, both in the nucleus. Okay, next the question asks you, state the electron arrangement of ion X. Okay, so to write down the electron arrangement of ion X, you need to know the electron arrangement of atom X. Okay, so electron arrangement of atom X is based on this diagram. Okay, so we have 2 in the first shell, dot, we have 6 electron in the second shell, 2.6. Okay, but the question asks you electron arrangement for ion X. Okay, so atom X will change to ion X when atom X gain 2 electron. Okay, why atom X need to gain 2 electron? Okay, to achieve stable octet electron arrangement. Okay, so when atom X gain 2 electron, okay, gain another 2 electron, okay, so atom X will form X2 minus. So the electron arrangement of ion X is 2.8. Okay, next, element X has the boiling points of -183. Okay, so we know boiling point is temperature at which liquid turns to gas. Okay, so during boiling point, states of matter for substance X is liquid plus gas. Okay, predict the physical states of X at room temperature. Okay, so like before, room temperature, we assume temperature at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, so 25 degrees Celsius is higher than the boiling point. So substance X exists as gas at room temperature. Okay, next question. Based on the kinetic theory of matter, describe the arrangement and movement of particles of element X at room temperature. Okay, so we know that element X exists in the form of gas at room temperature. Okay, so arrangement of particles, okay, at gas far apart from each other. Okay, so the movements of particles, okay, move randomly and fast. Okay, question D. Table 2 shows the proton number and nucleon number for atoms P, Q, and R. Okay, determine the number of neutrons in Q. Okay, number of neutrons. Okay, given that proton number for Q is 17, nucleon number is 35. Okay, so we know that nucleon number is summation of proton and neutron in the nucleus of an atom. Okay, so number of neutrons for atom Q is 35 minus 17, which is 18. Next question, state why atom Q and R has the same chemical properties. Okay, so for atom Q and R, both have same proton number but different nucleon number. Okay, so atom Q and R are isotopes. Okay, so atom Q and R has the same chemical properties because both atoms have the same number of valence electrons. Okay, what's the difference between chemical properties and physical properties? Okay, so usually chemical properties based on chemical reaction. Okay, for example, acid can react with alkali to form salt and water. Acid can react with metal to form salt and hydrogen gas. That is chemical. Okay, chemical properties refers to chemical reaction. Okay, so for physical properties, okay, physical properties usually refers to boiling point and melting point. Can also refer to electrical conductivity, whether the substance can conduct electric or not. Or maybe depend on the solubility, whether the substance soluble in water or soluble in organic solvent. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.